Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm Chris. I'm here with Kathy. We are Ginger Marvin on Instagram and YouTube. We are full-time resellers. Well, Kathy is a full-time reseller. I'm part-time. We do this as a living. Kathy's going to show you what has sold for us over the past day. So here's what's sold.
Hey guys, we'll start with Poshmark. So first up is a Crown and Ivy. It's just a fleece vest. When I bought this, I never heard of the brand before. I only bought it because it was new with tag and it was on Plato's Closet 90% off sale. So I only have $2.22 into it. It's been listed over a year. Finally sold for $16 with discounted shipping on Poshmark, which means I make $10.68 off of it. So about an $8 profit. Nothing to write home about, but glad it's gone. So that was it for Posh. We did have 2 Kitizen sales overnight. First up is this Play Sandals. I have several of these. I have $10 into each of them, and these ones sold for, I had them listed at $34.75. I sent an offer of $30 to someone who put it in their cart, and she accepted. So $30 costing me $5 to ship, so I make $21.50 off of that, and I paid $10, so about $11 profit on those. So when I bought those, I figured I'm happy if I can just double my money on each pair. I think I have 30, maybe even more pairs, so essentially a $300 profit when all is said and done.
Because that was a retail arbitrage. We don't expect to make a whole lot off of a retail arbitrage.
Yeah. But. So really easy to list, one listing for multiple quantities. All right, and then the other Kitizen sale was this bundle. So it's a pair of Levi's cargo shorts, just red, and then this Care Bear plush. So I have $2 into the plush and 50 cents into the shorts from a garage sale. This came from a local thrift. And the buyer, I had a 20% off 2 sale running, so she put them both in her cart and bought outright. So she paid $25.56 free shipping, and shipping cost me $5.75 through the app. So I make $16.93, and I paid about $2.50 for both. So, yep. Bread and butter items. We did have some better sales here today, though. So here, so that was it for Kitizen. Then we're moving on to Mercari. I woke up to an offer on these, and I love these shoes.
Yeah, these are so cool.
I almost kept them. So they're the Toy Story Vans, but these are like the Sid. So they have several Toy Story Vans. This is my first time finding this print, and honestly, I don't know if they made less of them, but I find like the regular Woody and Buzz ones like a lot, but these ones, I think they must have made less of them. So, or people just are not selling them after they use them. But yeah, I got those at Goodwill for $12.99, and somebody offered me $59 plus they paid shipping. So
wow. I
accepted that. Yeah, you can usually get about retail on them, and I think retail was like $70. So that's about what I got. Yeah, I don't remember what they were listed at, but I accepted the offer of $59. And then this is a Winter Water Factory hoodie. If you haven't heard of that brand, it's a great kids one to look out for. It's organic cotton, and they just have really cute prints that people like. So this I actually bought for my son off Kitizen. He wore it a few times. I paid $19 for it, and I actually just listed it today on Mercari, and it sold within like an hour for full price, $30 plus shipping. So my son wore it, and I'm still making like a $6 profit after all said and done. And it even had like some stains on the sleeves and stuff, but someone still bought it outright. So that's awesome. I did want to say I cross-posted that this morning to all the apps, and it was listed on Kitizen and eBay for $24.95 free ship. So the person, if they were shopping on multiple platforms, could have gotten it cheaper, but she just bought it outright, which I'm making more, so I'm happy. But that's kind of what I do when I cross-post. I knew that would sell probably between 20 to 25, and it actually sold for more. So yeah, I just kind of price stuff randomly and differently and see what happens. I priced it higher on Mercari because people like to offer the max amount off that they can.
So for you people who are always asking our magic formula, it's just pulling numbers out of thin air.
Yeah. Like whenever I buy any item, like whenever I bought these Vans, even I didn't buy them thinking, oh, I'm going to get $70. I bought them thinking they're $12. Right. I know that I'm probably going to get at least $50 for them, but even if I got 40, that's still really good. So that's kind of how my mind works. I don't expect a certain
We know it's
profit.
profitable.
Yeah,
right?
I know it's going to make us some money.
It's always a sweet surprise when it's extra profitable.
Yep. So that was it for Mercari, and then the rest are eBay sales. So this was our fun sale. This is a Magnalite pot. So I heard about pots from Hustle and Hooks. I'm sure you guys probably already watched them. But yeah, this is kind of what they specialize in. Like I do a lot of kids' clothes, they do a lot of pots and pans. So pots and pans is something I personally don't like because I don't like cooking. So I've never thought about looking in that section for stuff. But because I see them doing it a lot and making really good sales out of it, I've started to kind of look, and I finally found they have like a whole video about like the brands that they look out for. So I made a mental note and a list on my phone of those brands, and one of them was Magnalite. So I found 2 of the Magnalite pots at once. This is the first one I listed, the other one's not listed yet, and I paid $5 for that, and it sold for $49.95 plus shipping. I actually just listed it, well, I listed it on Posh a few days ago, and then I cross-posted it yesterday to eBay and Mercari, and it sold today. So one day, really good. I did calculated shipping because it was very heavy. It was like over 6 pounds before being packaged up, so, or I think it was like right under 6 pounds, but with the box it's like 7 pounds. So I did calculated shipping. The buyer lives in Utah, so it's close to Colorado. So they only had to pay like 12 something. On the screen you're gonna see $10.95, but again that's showing you if a Colorado person bought it. So I don't see exactly what she paid here. I believe it was $12.80 that she paid, and I was able to ship it to Utah, 7 pounds for 9 something. So I also make a couple bucks off that shipping charge. But yeah, I will definitely keep looking out, at least for Magnalite pots. I haven't tried any of the other brands yet. But.
And that's exactly why we love making What Sold videos and watching What Sold videos. That's what we love watching. So, you know, we never would have thought looking at that pan in a Goodwill that it would be, you know, we'd make 50 bucks on it. But
yeah, and I profited 40, so
yeah,
really
so
good. So
definitely. But, you know, you on the same note, you bought 2 or 3 pots and you didn't go out and buy like all in on pots, right?
Yeah,
so
I wanted to try them out first. So that's
definitely try
enough to make me want to pick up more.
Yeah.
I like when things sell within 30 days at least. So if anything ever sells within 30 days, I'm always looking for it again.
So if you see us say be on the lookout for something, don't spend your life savings buying it. Maybe buy a few, see how you like doing it. Because this one, it took a while to get listed, just because, you know, we're like, it's a pot. We weren't super interested, but, you know, 40 bucks,
now
we're a little more interested. So that's how we like to do it in our business. So.
All right, and then we sold another Bonds Wondersuit. I think I sold one of these yesterday. So when I found this and the one yesterday, I found like 4 or 5 all on the same day. They were 99 cents each. It was my first time finding the brand, but I knew it was a good brand based on what friends have said in the past. So I grabbed them all, 99 cents. I knew I couldn't lose money. In my head, I was like, oh, I'm spending $5 on all 5 of these, and I'm going to make at least $50 profit. So anyways, yeah, these have been selling off great. This one sold for $17.95 free ship. It's pretty faded, and I showed that up close, and I wrote in the description and everything, and someone still bought it. So $17.95 free ship. Shipping cost me about $3.31, and yeah, happy with that. All right, and then I sold this little Hurley. You can't really see, but it's a one-piece rash guard, like for a baby, and it has a little shark camo print on it. So I got these at Marshall's. I got, I think, 4 or 5 of them. $3.50 is what I have into it, and it sold for $19.95 free shipping. That's the first one of them to sell, but I anticipate the rest will start selling off soon here. And yeah, that was under 4 ounces, so shipping, actually this shipping was still $3.18 because the person lived in Hawaii, but that's like the most a 4 ounce item. Well, I'm saying
for
that,
us.
and then in a couple weeks it's going to be probably a little bit higher. But yeah, for right now, $3.18 is the highest a 4 ounce item that you're going to pay. Most of them are under $3 right now. All right, then I sold this Pendleton jacket. It is a nice, just navy blue wool jacket. Nothing, I mean, it's not a cool print or anything, but it is wool and it is Pendleton, so I knew it was worth something. I paid $10 for that, like last winter or like after last winter, and I just let it hang in the closet and didn't list it, just because I hate photographing long things. for no other reason than that. But I finally got it listed this year. I think it's been listed a month or two now, so not terribly long, and it finally sold for $49.95 free ship. Buyer who bought this lives in California, so shipping was not too much. It was like $10.32, I believe. So yeah, $10 in, $10 shipping, so I profited a little over $20.
And we're still going to double bag that. We just wanted to show you.
You.
So we'll put it in a big poly mailer and then inside the box.
All right, and then I sold these Allegria clogs. So these are like an open back type one. I've never really sold this model before, so wasn't sure what to expect, but they sold well. I paid $12 for these at the kids consignment sale, actually, even though they're women's shoes. And I sold them for $49.95 free shipping. So the shipping was a pad of flat rates, cost me $7.52. And yeah, really good little sale there. Last but not least are these little Converse. So these are like a paint splatter. These actually have taken a while to sell. They're kind of dirty and I did not clean them at all, so that's probably why. But I paid $4 for these and I listed them for $19.95 free ship, and that's what they sold for. So shipping cost me $4.32 on those, and yeah, we did have a few questions today. First up, Deborah is asking, how do you identify the Reeboks as CrossFit? Do they say CrossFit on them? So I pulled them out before we started just to show you guys. Yes, they do say Reebok CrossFit. So these ones are CrossFit, and these have.
Show it better. I didn't get.
So.
I can't see the. So it says CrossFit on the tongue.
Yep, and these ones, when I saw them, they look like almost all the other CrossFits that I have, but I realized when I got home they don't say CrossFit. Most of my women's ones, the CrossFits do look like this on the sole, which is why I think that they were. The men's ones look a little different. So these are like more of like a weightlifting type shoe, I think. I know they're CrossFit, but
well, CrossFit has weightlifting.
Yeah, so like the men's ones have always looked different than the women's though, but yeah. The tag on the tongue is always going to say CrossFit if it's CrossFit, and the CrossFits always have sold more for me than the regulars. But
I don't know if it'll necessarily always be on the tongue. I saw some online. I was kind of looking it up. Yeah, sometimes it'll say it on the sole, but typically it should say CrossFit on it because I think CrossFit is a trademarked term, kind of like Velcro or something like that. So Reebok is basically paying to use the CrossFit name. They're licensing it, and they probably have to show it on the shoe if it's a real
and the
CrossFit
shoe. Shoes always do feel like a better quality in my opinion. So I don't know. Just gonna stick that back where it goes. Okay. And then next up, Marshally asking, how do you handle multiple buys from one buyer on Mercari? I had someone purchase a bag and then later a purse. I was charged 2 shipping labels but sending together. So on Mercari, if they buy it separately, you got to ship it separately, and yeah, you got to pay the shipping separately. Well, I don't know how you have your shipping set up, but I have mine set up to where the buyer pays it anyway. So if they just outright bought 2 separate items, I'm going to ship them separately. I'm not going to go through the hassle of trying to explain to them they could get it cheaper,
right?
Because then they might just not buy it at all. So I'm just going to ship them. But yeah, one time when I was doing free shipping on Mercari, I did try to ship them together and put the same tracking on both. And then when the buyer got them, like the buyer wasn't like bad. Like the buyer rated one because she didn't realize that she had to rate both separately. And then I asked if she could rate the second. And then I think Mercari, I don't know what happened, but Mercari basically sent me a little message saying you cannot use the same tracking on 2 items. So yeah, I would not do that. If you are doing free shipping on your listings and using the labels through them, I would, I guess maybe then tell the person. In this case, I don't know. Just don't send them together. I hope you didn't already send them together, but
I think she probably did.
You probably already sent them together, yeah. So hopefully your buyer is cool and just rate you on both, but...
So the big reason why is if the buyer wanted to, not saying your buyer is trying to scam you or anything, but they can theoretically say that they've only received that one item that is tied to that tracking number and that they never received the second one, and then you would have to refund money, even though they did. I'm not saying they're going to do that, but that is a possibility.
People do that, though.
People do it,
yeah,
and
it's pretty rare, but...
And in our experience, trying to do that on the front end, like you'd have to what, cancel the order or have the buyer cancel the order,
It's just a lot
bundle
of
it together just to save a couple bucks. It's in our experience, we usually lose that sale in the long run, right?
Yeah, so if they haven't bought yet but are asking about 2 separate items, then I would make a listing for them.
Yeah.
Separate listing for for them both together, weigh them both together, and make sure you have the correct shipping label, and then you can ship them together.
Right.
As long as you put it all in one listing. But if you have 2 separate listings, Mercari is going to expect you to ship 2 separate items. So
Yeah.
hopefully this worked out for you, that
Right.
transaction. But yeah, for next time, definitely ship them separate, or
That's just what we've decided. We've decided just to ship it as it gets ordered and don't ask any questions.
yeah. Most people figure it out for themselves.
Right.
But yeah. So next question is, I believe the name is Manjari. If I'm pronouncing that wrong, please let us know. So in your video, I noticed for Mercari sales, for instance, a North Face jacket or shoes, they're more than £1. Do you ship in a USPS box or brown recyclable boxes and ship it via UPS? Shipping part was a little confusing. Thanks. So I do both. I don't have like a method to the madness. It's just kind of whatever I'm wanting to do at the time. So for example, today I happen to sell these Vans with the UPS labels. So most of the time I do USPS, but like a month ago, anything I listed, I was doing UPS because of the delays with the regular post office. So yeah, these sold that way, and because they were UPS, you cannot use the free post office boxes.
These priority
UPS
boxes,
and USPS
yeah.
is so close to the same. I keep getting confused.
I know.
But yeah, so you can't use the free boxes if you're shipping UPS, obviously. So this, I used just a recycled thread up box. We do have a bunch of boxes in our closet that we use for that instance. Even on Kitizen, I have to use them sometimes too. So we save all of our boxes that we get when we buy stuff online. And yeah, so if it's UPS, I always use a recycled box. If it's USPS, I just use the free boxes. So hopefully that answers that for you. But yeah, if you want to just make it simple, you could always do USPS and just use the free boxes.
Which is what we probably do 95% of the time, maybe. Yeah.
I kind of want to go through my shop and rechange back all the ones I put
Yeah.
UPS, because I just don't like making 2 trips if I
Right.
don't have to. All right, so next question is from Wonder Eve. She's asking, what a great way to start the year off. Congrats. Some questions for your next Q&A. How often do you guys go sourcing? How many items do you list in a day? And do you list every day? Many thanks, Eve. All right, so how often do you guys go sourcing? I mean, I'd love to go every day, but I haven't got to really since COVID stuff. I was going a lot before that. But since the lockdowns, I've already had a huge death pile, so I got rid of most of that, and I've also listed a bunch of my kids in our own stuff.
Yeah.
And now I would say I go maybe 2 to 3 times a week for a couple hours a piece. And that's just, it's not like a schedule. I just am like, okay, I feel like I work too much. I just want to go thrifting, because that's kind of what I do for myself, even though it's work. But
Right.
I
It's
have
the
fun
part of
doing
work
it.
that you consider the fun part and you would do any day, every day.
So I would say I source 2 to 3 days a week, no more than 10 hours for a full week of sourcing. I would say probably closer to 6 hours. And then how often do you guys go sourcing? How many items do you list in a day? I try to at least do 20, but I don't always hit that. I try to at least do 100 a week. So some days I can do, be consistent and do 20 every single day. And then some days I list 50 and don't list for like 2 or 3 days, and then list 50 again. So it just depends kind of what I'm sourcing. When I do go sourcing, I try to make the most of the time, and I don't always grab the highest dollar items, but I grab a lot of items that I know I can make money on. So if I have 50 items, I try to get all of those 50 listed together, but sometimes I'll only find 5 to 10, and I'll just do those. So
Sometimes she'll buy a random pot and take 3 weeks to list it.
right.
And then it sells in like a day, right?
Yeah, so yeah, I would say I do about 20 a day. Like yesterday I did 15 last night, got them cross-posted this morning, and then I photographed 10 more that I'm going to list tonight when Chris is at Bible study. So yeah, I can usually at least do 20 fairly easily every single day by myself. And then do I list every day? For the most part, I do. I've been trying to do better about daily versus like how I said sometimes I'll do 50 and not list. I'd rather do 20 a day and have it be more consistent.
Not only for algorithm bonuses, right? But for...
Yeah, it's just easier on myself.
Yeah, emotional and...
Yeah, like when I'm doing 50, I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, obviously I'm doing way more than I should be doing, and then I'm getting stressed out because I'm
not doing enough.
More than I need to do. So, yeah, I'm doing better about listing every day less and just getting the 100 like that. So, hopefully that answers that.
All in all, basically whatever works for you is the best for you. We don't think there's a huge difference enough to not do it, right? Like,
yeah, I think if you only have 1 day a week, I could list 100 in a day if I had to.
Right. And that's better than not doing anything at all because you think the other way's better.
Yeah, I don't think one way's better.
Just list when you can, and you know that if as long as you're consistent with that, that's still consistency, and it will still work in your favor, we believe.
And when I'm saying I do 20, don't think like, oh, I should be doing 20, because you probably have a million other things to do, and this is what I do as a full-time job, so I have plenty of time to list 20 items. All right, and then last question today is from Lisa Snap. Question: sometimes eBay locks my revision functions, for example, the shipping price / description. How to change shipping offers if it's locked, and why do they do that? So I think this is because you may have already sent an offer out on the item. At least that's the only time I've noticed it happening. So like I send offers every single day on eBay, and then a lot of times people will message, will I take less even than the offer I just sent them, which sometimes I will, sometimes I won't. But if I will, I've noticed I cannot edit it, so that's annoying. And then I just end the listing and relist. And then I tell them that I just relisted it at the new price that we agreed upon. And then I usually say, I'll leave it up for 24 hours or something, because a lot of times they back out. And then if they back out or they don't purchase, I set an alarm on my phone, and then I end the listing again and relist it back at the original price. So, but yeah, as far as it locking, I think that's why I'm assuming that you already sent out an offer on it, and I don't know why they do it.
If you have offers accepted and somebody sends you an offer, do you think that would lock it out too? If she's just maybe hasn't accepted the offer and it's just like pending in there?
It could be.
It's possibly that way too. We don't accept offers.
Would make sense. So yeah,
I think as long as you have something, some potential transaction happening with offers, it might be hanging it up. At least that's our experience. There might be something else too. We just have not personally experienced anything else.
But yes, I have experienced the locked items, and it's very frustrating because usually then the buyer cannot find the newest one, even though it's...
And you can't send them a link either, right? You can't...
eBay, I've tried to send the exact link, and they're like, you can't send links in Messenger. Even though it's its own site that I'm trying to sell from, so, yeah.
All right, thank you so much for the great questions, everybody. We are going to go ahead and pack these up. We got to figure out how to pack this pot nice and safe, I guess. We have some bubble wrap and stuff, but yeah, we're going to go ahead and get this stuff off to the post office and UPS. We can't forget that that's got to go to UPS. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.